Hello everyone, Kryptonite here and welcome back to another DINKUM video. So in this video I'm going to run through 5 glitches or exploits that I personally think will ruin DINKUM, and I really think they should be patched in the next update. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so let's talk about some exploits and glitches that I think will potentially ruin DINKUM. Now some of these are harmless and there's a little bit more to talk about some of them, but to be honest with you, most of them make certain aspects of the game a bit overpowered. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So the first one we're going to talk about is the miner's helmet. I have previously covered in another video. I covered it briefly, and that exploit basically causes the miner's helmet to provide you with an infinite light source. Now the way to do this is if you've got an empty miner's helmet like this one here and you have a spare one in your inventory, instead of dragging it over like this, as you can see when you do that, the miner's helmet pulses, and if we wait a few seconds you will see that the bar goes down. Now the way to exploit this so it doesn't drain any power and you don't require it to recharge is when you have your empty one there, you just shift and left click to swap it over. As you can see here, the miner's helmet isn't pulsing, which means it isn't using any energy, and you can just have an infinite light source. Now if I'm being completely honest with you, I hope that this does get patched, as obviously it defeats the object of having things like the recharge station. Now I'm going to try it with other components that require recharging, and I'll probably do a video on that one if my testing is successful. Just want to find out if it works with stuff like the compactor and the drill. Obviously I'm pretty sure it's not intended for the game, and therefore I will class that as an exploit. Now the next one we're going to cover, I've done a big video on this and it's my best money making video. Now there has been some comments and discussions and things like that where people don't think it's intended in the game. Now I've tried to do as much research as I can. Now I do believe that burying stuff like your nails, your grass seeds, your cactus sticks, they will eventually turn into treasure. If you wait around 7 in-game days and then come back here and dig it up, it will turn into treasure. Now that aspect of the game I believe is probably intended just because you have to wait such a long period of time. But the part that I don't think is intended is if you just bury that bit of grass and then you sleep till the next day. So if you sleep till the next day and then you exit to the main menu and you load up your save. So once you have slept the day, you have exited the main menu and you reload your save. As we all know, when you dig this bit of dirt back up, it will turn into treasure, either a barrel, a bin, or just loose treasure, and you can collect it like that. That part of the exploit, I don't think it is intended, but I do believe that planting items such as that and then having to wait 7 days quite possibly could be intended in the game, as trying to find treasure can be quite difficult. Now the next exploit we are going to cover is about the gacha machine. So we all know that when we insert 5,000 dinks into it and we sleep till the next day, it will give us a item. So as you can see, once we have slept today, it will give us an item. So we have an opal here. Now what the exploit does is it means that you can change the item that the gacha machine gives you without spending more dinks. And all you need to do for that one is you just quit to the main menu and reload your save. And once we go back to our machine, as you can see, the item is changed. Now I believe this one is an exploit. I don't think it's intended in the game, just because it seems a bit unfair that you can change the item you were given just by reloading your save, and it takes no time at all. So if you're after a specific item, then this can be gotten without spending too many dinks and having more than one machine. Now this one is a little bit harmless and I don't think it will affect the game too much, and I'm not sure if this one will get patched or not, as it is such a small little exploit. Now the next exploit we're going to cover is duplicating meat. Now all you need for this one is an animal trap, and you want to try and capture an animal that will fight back and try and escape. We want to pop the trap down and catch it. We want to pick it up, and then just as it's about to break out, we want to release it. And as you can see, the timing is sometimes difficult to get, but as you can see, I've just duplicated that animal and I've also just duplicated the traps as well. So as you can see, this little exploit, it does take a little bit of getting used to the timing to get it done, but as you can see, it is possible. Now I really do hope this does get patched, because it does seem a bit unfair to have this in the game. Obviously this one isn't intended, and it just allows people to farm traps and farm meat and money far too easy. Now for the last exploit we're going to talk about, and one that I really do think will spoil the game, so I really hope this one does get patched, or obviously I hope the dev does try and figure out a way to stop this happening. But for that one we're going to jump into a new save quickly, and here we are into a new save. Now the reason why I've come into a new save is I don't want to ruin my main save, and this exploit can cause problems with your save and corrupt it as well, and that is going to be the dev menu. Now the dev menu enables you to basically get any item you want in the game, so for me it does ruin the experience and just make things too easy. Now I have got a video on how to gain access to this dev menu. I'll leave the link down in the description below, but as I said, there are a few issues with it. It can cause game saves to become corrupt, but I do go through that in the video that I just mentioned. The reason why I would like this one to be patched is I think it ruins the game. It basically turns the game into a creative mode, which is fine. I mean, I'm sure if the dev wanted to put a creative mode in, he possibly could, and maybe that's an option for that, but I really hope he can find a way to remove the dev commands from access to everyone else. But that's just my opinion, so let me know your opinions on the dev commands down below. So there we are everyone, that's 5 exploits in DINKUM, some of them that I think will potentially ruin the game. So if you liked that video and found it interesting, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you drop a comment down below on your thoughts on some of these exploits and whether you think they should be patched and why. And make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more DINKUM content. Now it's a nice rainy day here, so I'm gonna head and find Jimmy and sell some of the stuff and make myself a whole load of dinks. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.